I'm Ed and welcome to Rauta's Reviews. Today's band comes from Australia. Founded in 2014 in Perth, Australia. This band has already released a demo, an EP and a split record prior to this debut album, which is the case here. An album might be a little overstatement considering that this album is only 22 minutes and then some in length. But however, that's the official thing, so short as it be and may, this one is still full-length album. So let's take a look at Unravel, Eras of Forfeit. No jewel case here, but this is a jewel case release, just already kind of unboxed it because, well, like I said, no jewel case included. So here's the cover art by Mr. Seagrave, the legendary death metal cover artist. So this should give you a little bit of insight what is expected inside. Here we have a lineup picture, as you can see, 4-man band, and inside there is not much, but lyrics in very small font, and then the essential recording information and kind of a bad picture. And on we go with the CD, which is it again, more Mr. Seagrave's art. Great stuff as always. All hail vegan death metal. Now this is a strong statement from any death metal band. One could see this as a trolling or attempt to provocate people, and probably the last one is true. Well, to be honest, I'm not really surprised when I see the band picture original. I mean, considering the typical 1990s band, death metal band, these were not long-haired guy doing death metal, but more like a short-haired hipster kind of guy who probably do graphic design, drink hipster coffee and whatnot. And they play death metal mixed with some more political correct, or at least kind of a liberal, maybe left-wingy thing, and then mix it together. The thing here is, while this looks like certainly a death metal album, it's hardly a pure one. That is to say, there's a lot of grindcore, crust, hardcore and whatnot, and all they are now mashed together and create this kind of a mix, which, well, is called Unravel. Now, while there are lots of death metal influence here, or should we say the groundwork is basically death metal. I mean, growling vocals, low-tuned, chugging guitars, you know, the kind of a Sunlight studio reminiscent sound of 1990s Swedish death metal and all that stuff. These faster parts are more towards kind of a grindcore, the more kind of a Napalm Death at Carcass kind of thing, which then again is not a new thing for, you know, kind of a morally conscious left-wing thing, or at least related to vegetarianism or vegan or whatever. Now, I don't have any issues with this, just, you know, pointing these out because some people might be actually more interested in this kind of stuff. Anyhow, Weekend death metal still sounds kind of a fun, considering what death metal has always been, kind of a meaty, kind of a murderous, bloody violence and all that stuff. And now suddenly it's all go, hey, they're dandelions! Woo! Let's get them for dinner. Oh, kidding aside. So Unravel is mixing all these ideas together, and their sound could be unique, but it's unfortunately quite the opposite. The thing here is, while they have these different ideas put together, they are kind of failing in order to tap that originality and such, creating this, you know, an element of surprise where you could see, you know, crust and hardcore mixed with death metal to be surprisingly good. But now it feels like it's a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and not exactly anything in the way people are expecting a death metal album or crust album to be. And while I kind of tried to like this album, I kind of didn't do it all the way, and that's because the songs are not exactly very good. I'm not saying they are bad, but they're kind of a mediocre. And part of the problem is that these different parts don't exactly work that well in these compositions. Given that they are really short and it would be kind of a easy, or at least I would assume such things, it would be kind of easy to create interesting songs when the song length is not that long. But the thing is, this album just lacks those interesting riffs. I mean, back in the early 90s maybe, or late 80s, it was maybe just enough when you get that boss pedal and you have that kind of a right kind of death metal crispiness in your guitar sound, and you're just like, oh my god, this sounds so awesome. Doesn't matter what I play, it just, kills. It kills people. Just like that, like with that, I don't know, fire hatchet. But nowadays, I mean, things just are not enough if you do the very basic stuff. Doesn't matter how aggressive it is, it doesn't matter how low tuned guitar you have, you just have to have those impressive riffs. And that is what this album is failing 90% of the time. And the last 10% is actually quite good. That is kind of the stuff that this band is showing, that they had this potential, to play good death metal. But like I said, 90% of the time is just kind of wasted. And the rest of the stuff, the majority of the stuff, is just kind of a boring. It's kind of a mediocre way of creating death metal and kind of a mediocre hardcore with mediocre grind. And to be honest, I cannot be impressed by this material as much as I try to. And while the production is pretty cool and the growling vocals are quite nice, they are not anything special. They are not anything that, would blow my mind and I would be going like, Unravel, the best album of 2018. Sorry guys, but like I said, as much as I try to like this, I kinda get this lukewarm feeling like, yeah, these guys might be somewhere, I don't know, in 5 or 10 years. But this time it's maybe too much focusing on the vegan stuff, not much on the meaty, violent stuff. I'm not saying that these are in contradiction by any means, but it's like high protein food. If you don't want to do vegan high protein food, you just need to have a little extra effort. And that's what exactly happens here. If you want to have this high protein death metal crust grindcore mix, you need to be a little more focused than just have this awesome guitar sound with growling vocals and chugging guitars. It won't cut it. Anyway, go check out Unravel yourself. Maybe you will be more impressed than me. Who knows? Always comes by surprise. Anyway, thank you for watching the channel and the review, and should you like what we have here, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it so far. See you soon with more reviews to come your way through Rauta channel. Bye!